We drained enough water for what we need to do, but I wonder if I could empty out the whole dam. Pipes, valves. Maybe I can drain the rest of the water from here. Sure are a lot of valves. Should check my focus first. Anything? My focus could reveal. All right, time to get the flow going to the right place.
I say this as a man typically enamored of complexities, but this looks like it might be a little much for me.
Don't worry, I think I've got this.
Music to my ears. To each job, its proper tool. Toothpicks make horrible arrows, as the saying goes.
Getting there.
Got it working, did you? Of course you did. Never met a conundrum you couldn't unconundrum.
Ugh, it stinks down here.
You
Looks
smell
like
that?
that's everything.
Smells
should
like
head
a
back up
Ford
the
side
building.
morning in Acclaim.
See? Check this out! We could just bang on this pipe, you know? Could we sample that, or...? Totally! Like, what about after the... Oh, sorry. Just a sec. Laura?
So, as we circle back around to the matter of the supply room, would you look at that? Ha! You've drained this place completely. Could be that this old ruin is hiding a few more secrets down below. Of course, that storage room still awaits our perusal. I can't wait, I can't wait, I can't wait! Almost there! Soon I'll hold the looking glass in my hand. Just like Mom and I used to. What, what are you doing with your hands there, girl? I can't believe that worked. I thought you'd lost your mind, tickling the empty air like that.
Okay, let's fix the panel and shut this place down.
Where did it go?
I mean, this is it. We get to play together, what, maybe 2 more times? Nah, shells. Farewell tour! Reunion tour in like 6 months. Bands do it all the time. For our adoring fans,
Can't
it's
have
not
imagined
that
it.
hard to stay in touch, Shelly.
One doesn't imagine such
Practice
things,
it
not
all,
2
baby.
delves in a row.
We'll always say that.
Gilden? Everything okay?
I was so sure I saw it. The looking glass. I was so sure. Right there in the window. I was... Of course. Trick of the light. Nothing at all.
I'm sorry, Gilden. It must have meant a lot to you.
Oh, no. Much as any artifact of the old ones would mean to me, really. It's fine. I'm fine. Besides, what are the spoils compared to the delve? That's why we do it, girl. The delve, not the treasure. And what a delve it was! Ugh. By the great blazing forge, I'll never forget that. Now then, I believe we have some repairs to make. Oh, that's a whole lot prettier, isn't it? What does it mean?
It means it worked.
By the forge! Ha! You are a wonder! Do you hear that often? I'll hazard a guess you do.
I've heard something like that once or twice.
Oh, she's modest now. A master of the arts of the old ones, a delver to shame the entire claim, and she wants to be modest. Ha!
It's not like I did it alone, Gilden.
No. No, I suppose not.
So what's next for you? On your way back to the claim?
And deprive the people of Song's Edge the story of this encounter? Perish the thought! I'll stay there a while longer. But a story is best told by all who encountered it. Come and lend a hand, won't you?
Overflow basin empty. Interior accessible. Minimal flood damage.
Sounds like the basin is dried out too. Maybe I'll take a look.
Another adventure so soon? Whew, you're braver than me. But there was no question of that.
Sounds getting louder. She wasn't kidding about the sound. You look happy to be playing again.
I don't know what you did, but the water drained in the snap of a short song. What do you think of the music?
I've never heard anything else like it.
That's because there's no other place with such resonance, such intonation that rattles your ribs with its power. And of course, no one else knows these pipes like I do. I learned them by ear before I could walk, strapped to my father's back. Thank you for draining the waters. Not just for myself, but for my ancestors and their songs. Please, take this as a token of our gratitude.
I need
I didn't think much of Albert and his bandits at first. But then we found dead hunters. Their packs empty. What can I do for you, Bergrand?
Mourn my poor departed luck. I finally met some Banuk keen to trade with Outlanders. Then, they up and vanished. 3 Banuk hunters rolled in a few days ago. No provisions, junk equipment, no idea how to strip a machine for parts. Asked me to outfit them for a long trip. And you know me, Aloy. I'm sentimental. So I did it on credit.
And they haven't paid.
Well, they tried. Just look what they did to this Thunderjaw heart. But that was ages ago. And I'm starting to worry about them.
Tell me, Bergrand, are you worried about their well-being or your purse strings?
A man can worry about 2 things.
Uh-huh. What kind of deal was this, really?
Just what I said. I was nothing but generous, Aloy. After they dropped this ruined heart at my feet, I even gave them another chance. Sent them to fetch a few other parts I need.
But you haven't seen them since.
Hide nor hair.
What do you mean they couldn't harvest parts?
Not uncommon with Banuk. That's shaman's work, you see. The hunters take down the machines. The shamans slice them up. No shaman with these 3. Just 2 youngsters sniping at each other. And that big fella standing there smiling.
So if the Banuk don't usually hunt without a shaman, what's the story with these 3?
They weren't telling. But hammer to steel is not a happy story, whatever it is.
You said they asked you to outfit them for a trip. A trip to where?
Not sure. But I heard them chattering about the Sundom when they thought I wasn't listening.
So they're leaving Banuk territory.
Sensible behavior. Still, I get the sense this wasn't a sightseeing trip. They're running from something.
I'm not a debt collector, Bergrand. If I look for them, it'll be to make sure they're all right.
Of course, of course. Fires of the Forge, forgive me. I actually like these idiots. The molten steel of youth and all that. But if you do manage to find them, you could remind them of the deal we made. A scorcher claw, a loop of sinew from a stalker, and a snapmaw fang. If they bring me those parts, their debt's paid. And then some. Just make sure they don't bust them up too badly.
I'll consider it.
Last I saw them, they were heading northeast. Good machine hunting up that way. If you decide they're worth the trouble, you might look for them there.
I don't see what's wrong with the traditional paintings. Sakuri overcomplicates things. The smoke never stops rising from the thunders.
when the old ones were fresh in their graves and our numbers were still small. It was she who led us through the frozen wastes. We also remember the ravenous tribe, who delighted in sucking the marrow from our broken bones. Everywhere Banukai and her Werak fled, the ravenous tribe were never far behind. Seeking a way to defeat them, Banukai went into the wastes and let the wind whip her cheeks. And when the cold brought sleep, she dreamt of light. She saw it behind the world, a great calming sheet of icy blue. And she saw something new. Herds of machines, each filled with the same blue light. When she woke, she knew which star to follow. She walked for many days and nights until she arrived at a temple built from sparkling ice. At the gates of the temple, she was met by the machines from her dream, who bowed to her as she entered. Inside, Banuk discovered the blue light bubbling from a hole in the snowy earth like a spring. "You bid me come," she said. "My people need aid. Will you provide it?" The machines whispered to Banuk. "We go where the light goes, for we are its chosen vessels. There is darkness in your heart. It cannot hold the light for long. Carry it to your people if you must, but the cost will be great." Banuk waded into the pool. The light reared like a nest of snakes and struck Banuk, piercing her skin, filling her up. Banuk did not scream, though she was in agony. Banuk did not collapse, though her limbs shook. She climbed from the pool and carried the light inside her. She marched toward home, and the machines marched behind her. As she walked, the light struggled to push its way out of her, but the machines were there to aid her. She sewed her body shut with their cables, patched herself with their metal, and kept the light within. When she arrived, the forces of the ravenous tribe had surrounded the camp. Although the light had left her with 1,000 wounds, Banuk charged. And because she held the light, the machines followed. The ravenous tribe killed many, but those in camp rushed to join the battle. They gathered pieces of the fallen machines and from them fashioned weapons. And it was with these that Banuk's people repaid the suffering the ravenous tribe had wrought upon them. When quiet descended, Banuk finally fell. The machines bowed their heads, and her werak wept. The light she'd held within her drifted from her wounds and rose to the sky. And for just a moment, before life left her, Banuk knew the truth of the blue light. And she felt peace. We remember Banuk, the first to crawl from the cave beneath the world, brought the machines to us. When we speak the name of our tribe, we remember her. And we will not forget.
So, machines in the south suffer their own sort.
I can't believe the tall neck at the Frost figures walks again. How is that possible?
Hunting, singing, studying the blue light. There are 1,000 ways to prove one's worth. I've never traveled further south than the Great. In the old days, the madman
What does the Outlander want? I'm looking for Skuli. You found her. Come, come. Let's get it over with. Quite a view you've got up here. It's a useful perspective. How fleeting we are when the world is so wide. From up here, you can see how the light paints across the land. Ever changing. That's a lesson. All our marks will pass. That outlook sounds a little depressing for a painter. Haven't met many artists, have you? Song's Edge needs new stories. I scrubbed its past off this rock to start anew, but a new start needs new colors. Fresh pigments, like none have seen. Araya said you could help me get the Werak's attention. Araya works in strange ways. but I've drunk paint to survive in a blizzard, so I'm one to talk. I'll get you noticed, if you bring me the pigments I need to complete my work.
Have you always been a painter?
I've always painted. But I wasn't a painter until I was driven out of Banuk. Up there, the markings are eternal. They paint over the same lines, the same colors, over and over. As a child, I learned from copying them. As I grew, my heart sank at the familiarity. All of us Banuk might as well be trapped in glacier ice. We have the look of life, but never really moving.
These pigments you want. Where should I look for them?
Salts gather at the edges of geysers and hot pools. Crystals cling to the rocks and cliffs.
Array said you two were friends.
I paint about what I feel now, not the way things used to be. Araya understood. Most Banuk didn't. I would have been exiled if she hadn't had Aratak take me into their werak.
The Banuk rock paintings are impressive, but,
You want to know what they mean? That's not the right question, but I'll answer anyway. Some are called to the machines. The sacred shapes you see on metal casings, or on a cauldron door.
do the machines listen to the call?
I don't know. Others, like mine, are a call to the tribe. You could say inspiration or prophecy. And sometimes even men listen, if the painting is loud enough.
I'll see what I can find for you.
Seek out the vibrant ones. A spring of sudden color among snow or rock or metal. That's its own reward, but I'd reward you as well.
Banuk goes where the great wearers
Bankai, when the old ones were fresh.
Versus Americanus, the magnificent American black bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Beautiful. How fierce you must have been. That fur. You never even felt the cold, did you? If he hadn't preserved you, would anyone even know you'd disappeared?
Visitor Center's a bust. I'm recording the strategic and operational value at roughly 0 point squat. No reason we shouldn't pack the staff onto a vert and send them back to Nowheresville as soon as the gates are locked. Enjoy basic income, ding-dongs.
I hate to interrupt.
Oh, Yes. Hello, an outlander at the Shrine of Forgotten Beasts. Welcome. I'm Enjuk.
Aloy. The Shrine of what?
When the old world still breathed, a great man built a tiny totem to this beast and stored the visage inside. When the totem is placed on the pedestal, the animal is painted onto the empty air, and the beast lives again. Well, almost.
There are 7 pedestals. Where are the other 6 figurines?
I found this one in the wilds. Remembered the indentations in the pedestals here, and saw how they matched the base of the totem. But as you say, it's one of 7, isn't it? The great Montana Recreations must have made more, but time has scattered them.
So these totems... the images they show are of animals that no longer exist. They're gone, like the old ones.
So it seems. To think such magnificent creatures are lost to us, that We never even knew they were here. We rely as much on beasts as we do on machines. For food, for warmth, but do we study them with the same fervor? I do. For example, I have this theory about foxes. Why do foxes have red fur? Think about what they eat.
Meat?
Raw meat. Bloody meat. See? Natural causation. Logical connections. It only makes sense.
You've thought a lot more about foxes than I have. You said a great man made these figurines?
Indeed. He was, I believe, a student of the natural world. Like me. But surpassing my abilities 1,000 times over. The great Montana recreations. Perhaps the finest natural scholar the old world ever produced. His voice claims responsibility for the totems, the vessels for the knowledge he accumulated. I share his desire to understand the beasts, to catalog their behaviors and preserve their images. I like to flatter myself that I'm an apprentice of sorts, carrying on his work. Someday, perhaps, if I am persistent, I can earn his name. Enjuk Recreations.
What do you think of these, Enjuk?
Welcome news. I've arranged them on their pedestals. They already make for a dramatic scene, if I do say.
I should get going.
Of course, of course. I've taken up so much of your time already. But I don't suppose you could keep an eye out for more figurines?
If I run across any, I'll bring them your way.
Ursus Arctos, the menacing grizzly bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
Those claws look like they could rip someone in half.
Perhaps in its youth, but you heard Montana Recreations. He said it's grizzled, old. Its hunting days are behind it.
Puma Concalor, the fearsome cougar. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
His coat is sand-colored. Could it have been a burrowing animal? Perhaps those teeth were only used for digging.
Ursus Americanus, the magnificent American black bear. Brought to you by Montana Recreations.
How would you like to find yourself cornered by that thing?
I suspect I'd like it very much indeed. What a beautiful beast you were!